Hi, Marilyn O'Hearn with Weekly Wisdom here with Dr. Evelyn Hill at the Bruce Watkins Cultural Center in Kansas City, where we're here for a program on bias. And we want to talk about how to unlock potential by blasting through bias, which is a potential blocker. So, Dr. Evelyn Hill, what do you have to say about this?
Well, first of all, thank you, Marilyn. I'm so excited to be here with you this morning. And what a great opportunity to blast through bias. Bias often hinders us, holds us back from reaching our potential. Anything that we can blast through to help us move forward with our potential is a good thing.
Absolutely. And I know you've got some stories. We all have stories about how bias can block potential and how to blast through that. And so, through your time as a community leader, what would you say might be an example of that?
Well, one thing in particular is when we have a bias, sometimes we're not even aware of it at the time. But when it shows its ugly head, if we would begin to step back and take a look at it and say, oh, okay, I probably have some bias in this area and I need to make some changes. And so one of the best things to do once you recognize that in yourself is to be able to blast through it and say, okay, I'm not going to let that hinder this relationship, this time, this period. I'm going to move forward and allow myself to engage in a conversation that is forthcoming and able to help that organization.
Yes, thank you. And I know that you and I, as colleagues and friends, have been able to help each other to identify bias and even say, that sounds a little biased to me. Let's check that out. So it's really, because we all have it, unconscious bias. It's really stopping to look at where we might be biased, and there's some assessments and tools on how to do that. And then how do we manage it within ourselves and the organizations and the communities that we serve?
I have been the president of the Board of Education in Kansas City, Kansas, a couple years ago, and I realized that I did have bias in this particular area, and it was such a rude awakening for me.
Yeah.
But I immediately addressed that. I took care of my internal issues and began to explore areas within me that I could say, okay, I got to blast through this. I got to move forward because our children are at stake.
Yes.
And so we were able to get through that and move forward, and good things came from it.
Yeah, that's fabulous. Here, that's a great example because it's our own potential. It can get in the way of our own businesses if we are not aware of it and we're communicating unconsciously that bias and behaving in that way of bias. And then also, like you said, the communities and the organizations that we serve and that our clients serve. So thanks so much for joining me this morning.
My pleasure.
Okay.